I'm GREYMOND, the founder of the GREYMOND method. I am one of the original coaches to help people fully recover from OCD, and after years of experience and thousands of clients, my message to you is still the same. You can fully recover from OCD. On this channel, I show you how. But before we start, I just wanted to remind you that I do daily OCD recovery videos, and if you don't want to miss one, hit the subscribe button now. Let's talk about how to come out of a setback. So I separate setbacks and stepbacks. Setback is when you took a little step back, but then it lasted an extra day and an extra day, and now we're in full-blown setback. How do we get out from here? You really have to crack down on your behaviors. So if you are right now in panic, ruminating, doing compulsions, reassurance seeking, confessing, checking online on Reddit, on TikTok, or whatever it is, wherever you feel like you need to check, you really have to understand that you are making the situation worse. I know it feels very real, but hear me when I'm telling you, you're making the situation worse. You need to stop the behaviors, even though to you right now, it feels like that's the last thing I should do. I need to figure this out. No, you don't. You need to dig yourself out of a setback. That's what you need to do. So kind of putting that in perspective, that you won't be able to do both. You can't reassure your way out of OCD. And if you by some miracle reassure your way out of problem 1, 3 problems will come up almost immediately that you will also feel the need to reassure yourself from. So this is not a way to get out of OCD. So you have to be very clear with yourself on that I am now in a setback. I need to get out of a setback. In order for me to get out of a setback, I need to stop the behaviors, right? And if you are very focused on this and you are pushing forward now, starting now, doesn't matter what happened last week. Another thing is not dwelling on it, right? On the mistake before. You had a setback, whatever, you reacted, it got out of control. Fine. But now to get back on track, we really need to put our foot down with the behaviors. If you need to track, I mean, you should be tracking already, right? We're using the app. Sometimes you hear people talk about tracking, and what they're doing is entirely different. So use the GREYMOND method, do the tracking, get the numbers down, and really crack down on this for the next few days. I'm telling you, you're going to come out of it. It's going to be fine. But then after you come out from it, when you feel a little bit better, re-examine the situation, not from a position of the content of the thought, that's bad, that's rumination, but from a position of why did I have a setback? Where did I make the mistake, right? So for example, I remember when I was going through OCD, a lot of it was I would get a thought or a feeling or whatever, and I would ask for reassurance or Google. And when I would do that, inevitably, I would find something that triggers the OCD more, and then would get stuck in this cycle of more research and more checking and more asking and so on and so forth, right? And then when you crack down on the behaviors and you say, you know what, I can't do, this is not healthy for me, I can't do this anymore. When you start to do this, and you do this systematically all the time, where you won't let yourself fall down, right? Like, okay, well, this is where I made the mistake last time. I'm not going to allow myself to make that same mistake. And over time, this is not something like, for me, OCD recovery was what now, 17, 18, whatever years ago? I don't get those thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, this is not something you have to continuously battle. This is not something that's going to keep coming back and getting you, that you always have to be disregarding. It will stop. But for it to stop, you need to set the program that I'm no longer going to be buying into this. I'm no longer going to be doing the behaviors. So it's very, very important. So if you're in a setback, it's normal. Setbacks happen. But in order to get out of it, crack down on it and start doing the work. I hope you find my videos helpful. Subscribe if you haven't. If you would like to book a talk with me, I'll leave the links below. I'll see you tomorrow.